hope she makes you feel the same way about her that I feel about you right now. I hope you're both feeling sparks by the end of the drive. I hope you know she's the one by the end of the night. I hope you never ever felt more free. Tell your friends that you're so happy. I hope she comes along your lips and I'm holding your prayer. I hope it's not your last time to put a rock on your hand. I hope she's brighter than your wildest dreams. She's everything you're ever gonna need. And I hope she treats like you did on me. And I hope she treats like you did on me. Like you did on me.
Only the best.
I've been feeling lonely. I need someone to hold me. Come on, baby, hold me. Yeah, I've been feeling jaded. Don't know how I should play it. Tell me how to play it. Now you've been moving on. Let me know. Can I come along? Since you're gone, oh, it's been so long. On my own, my own, my own, my own. Living in a haze, staying in the shade. All I do is sit around and wait for better days. I could use a break. Can I get an amen? All I do is sit around and wait for better days.
Can I get an amen? Introverted can't make friends. Pray for better days. Now it's 300K when my day ends. Do you remember last night? Cause I blacked out in that all white dress with her back out. Said be careful with her heart cause it's fragile. And thinking about her past make her lash out. See with me it ain't no worries at all. Any problem I'll be there in one call. If we locked in, you my dog. Finna you hang pictures on my wall. Roll one, let's get high tonight. Backseat, Maybach, lavish life. Chilling with the stars like a satellite. AP on my arm and it's shining bright.
Living in a haze, staying in the shade. All I do is sit around and wait for better days. I could use a break. Can I get an amen? All I do is sit around and wait for better days. Sit around and wait. Better days. I can use a break. All I do is sit around and wait for better days. Better days. All I do is sit around and wait for better days.
Only the best.
I'm still a fan even though it's salty. Hate to see you with some other, but know you happy. Hate to see you happy if I'm not the one driving. I'm so mature, I'm so mature, I'm so mature. It got me a therapist to tell me there's other men I ain't doing one night, I just want you. If I can't have you, no one should have mine. I might kill my ex, not the best idea. His new girlfriend's next, how I get here. I might kill my ex, I still love him though. Rather be in jail than alone. I get the sense that it's a lost cause. I get the sense that you might really love her. This text gon' be evidence, this text is evidence. I try to ration with you, no murder's a crime of passion. But damn, you was out of reach. You was at the farmer's market with your perfect peach. Now I'm in the basement, planning on my patient. Now you laying face down, got me singing over a beat. I'm so mature, I'm so mature, I'm so mature. I got me a therapist to tell me there's other men I do one night, I just want you. If I can't have you, no one will. I might kill my ex, not the best idea. His new girlfriend's next, how'd I get here?
best.
Sean Paul, alongside the big bad Ina, make them know.
Once upon a time, there was a girl who made a wish to find herself a love and finally make a switch.
She a brave it.
Then you came around, you healed another stitch, and I'm glad about that. I can finally make a switch. And I know, yeah, I know, many would like to be in my shoes. And I know, yeah, I know, with you I got nothing to lose.
You don't
When
know.
I'm down, you can bring me up, 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 up. And when I'm hurt, you know I don't need much. You can use that magic touch. When I'm down, you can bring me up, 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 up. And when I'm hurt, you know I don't need much. You can use that magic touch. You can use that magic touch.
Hello? Hello?
You can use that magic touch.
Baby girl, it's insane that you feel all the pain and you feel all the mental drain.
Yeah.
But you don't know S to the P when we're there, you figure take you on a different plane.
Dang.
And the loving what me got for you, girl. Come and one year you call out my name. And it's a shame them wanna be your main baby girl. You know them a move too lame.
And I know, yeah, I know, many would like to be in my shoes. And I know, yeah, I know, with you I got nothing to lose.
Straight
When
go.
I'm down, you can bring me up, 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 up. And when I'm hurt, you know I don't need much. You can use that magic touch. When I'm down, you can bring me up, 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 up. And when I'm hurt, you know I don't need much. You can use that magic touch.
Yo, yo, kissing and loving and such. Said she not get enough, so she want turn it up. Bad man a angle the bass, give her it like a whiz.
Can use that magic.
Nobody. Literally, not a soul.
We no clutch, cause you don't know she want it rough. Tell you say me angle the bass, give her it like a whiz.
Can use that magic touch.
Only the best.
I didn't ask for a free ride. I only asked you to show me a real good time. I never asked for the rainfall. At least I showed up. You showed me nothing at all. It's coming down on me. Harder like misery. It's coming down on me. I'm ready, rain on me. Drop, but at least I'm alive. Rain on me, rain, rain, rain on me, rain, rain. I'd rather be drop, but at least I'm alive. Rain on me, rain, rain.
Rain on me.
Living in a world where no one's innocent. Oh, but at least we try. Gotta live my truth, not keep it bottled in. So I don't lose my mind. Baby, yeah, I can feel it on my skin.
It's coming down on me.
Teardrops on my face.
Harder like misery.
Better wash away my sins.
It's coming down on me.
Let it wash away. I'd rather be dry, but at least I'm alive. Rain on me, rain, rain, rain on me, rain, rain. I'd rather be dry, but at least I'm alive. Rain on me, rain, rain,
Rain
rain
on
on
me.
me. Rain on me. Rain on me. Oh, yeah. Rain on me. Oh, yeah. Rain on
Hands up to the sky. I'll be your galaxy. I'm
Yeah, shout out to Soft and Balls. Are they still around?
tsunami. Hands up to the sky. I'll be your galaxy. I'm about to fly. Rain on me.
that I can figure out. I've been next to you all night and still don't know what you're about. You keep talking, but not much coming out your mouth. Can't you tell that I want you? I say it. I would want myself. Baby, please believe me. I'll put you through hell. Just to know me, yeah, yeah. So sure of yourself. Baby, don't get greedy. That shit want it well. Ooh, and well. I see you eyeing me down, but you'll never know much past my name or how I'm running this room around, and that I'm still half your age. Yeah, you looking at me like I'm some sweet escape. Obvious that you want me, but I said I would want myself. Baby, please believe me. I'll put you through.
All right, good morning. How's everybody doing? Great start yesterday for the Payloo movement. First day of the gambling week. And it couldn't have started any. Well, I guess technically it could have started a little bit better. I was 4-1. I was 4-1 yesterday, and it was crazy too. I had a ridiculous parlay, which of course all parlays are ridiculous, just by nature. But I had a 3-bet parlay. Who did I have? I think it was the Orioles, Yankees, and then the Mariners to win by more than 1.5. The Orioles and the Yankees had already won, and the Mariners were the late game, and I had a minus 1.5, so I needed them to win by 2, basically. Well, in the bottom of the ninth, it was tied 3-3, and the Mariners were at bat. Well, it's almost impossible for me to win that bet at that point, because in the bottom of the ninth, if the game is tied and the batting team scores 1 run, the game just ends. It's over. Even if there's no outs, they just end the game. So the only way to win it is to get, in my case yesterday, I needed them to score 2 runs in the bottom of the ninth. The only way to get that is to have a runner on base and then someone hits a home run, a walk-off home run. Well, the Mariners had bases loaded with 1 out. And I'm like, well, you know, they're probably going to hit a pop out to outfield, and the runner on third will tag and score, and the game will be over. Or the batter will just get a hit, and the runner on third will score, and the game will be over, and the Mariners will win by 1, but I'll lose the bet. No, the guy hit a walk-off grand slam, a walk-off grand slam, and the Mariners ended up winning. What was it, 7-3? Actually, it might have been tied. I think it was tied at 4. It was 4-4. Mariners hit a walk-off grand slam to win 8-4. So I won a ridiculous parlay and 3 other bets. I did lose the under on one of the games that I bet. But I went 4-1. And so after the first day of the gambling week this week, Uncle Lou is ahead $205. So I will take that. That's a great start to the week. A great start to the week. Walk off grand slam to Payloo last night at about 11:45 p.m. We ended the lunch money show and went out in the living room with the lady. We've been watching that show on Netflix. Your Honor is the name. Really good, by the way. Bryan Cranston from Breaking Bad. You know, Walter White from Breaking Bad. He plays a judge who finds himself caught up in some things. Anyway, it's a really good show. If you're looking for something to watch on Netflix, it's really, really good. Anyway, the lunch money show ended last night a little after 11, so went out in the living room, and me and the lady turned Your Honor back on. We're sort of in the middle of it. And we're sitting there watching the show, but I've got my phone in my hand following the score of the of that Mariners game. And, you know, once it was tied in the ninth, I'm like, well, I guess it just wasn't meant to be, you know. But they hit that damn grand slam in the bottom of the ninth, and I couldn't believe it. I've lost a lot of bets like last play like that, but I haven't won very many bets on the last play like that. That was exciting. and got me off to a good start. So I'm up $205 after the first day of the gambling week. So the hashtag Paylou movement off to a great start. How's everybody doing? Happy Tuesday. Hope everybody had a great start to the week. I can't complain. I didn't do much yesterday. I got lazy and didn't make a video yesterday, and I can't do that very often, but I am on track with my prediction videos. I have kind of a map or a plan, a roadmap for these prediction videos to get so that I can make sure I get done the number of prediction videos that I need and want to get done. And basically, I need to do about 4 to 5 a week during the months of June and July in order to hit that mark. And through kind of the first full week, I'm at I've done 7 so far, so I'm on track. But I got to do, since I didn't do one yesterday, I probably can't skip any more days this week. Probably can't skip any more days this week, so we'll have one up today. Should I give a spoiler alert on what team it is today? Well, I'll tell you this: it's a Big 12. It's a Big 12 team today. I've done 2 ACC teams, 2 SEC teams, 2 Big 10 teams, and 1 Big 12 team so far. So it's a second Big 12 team today. You'll have to stay tuned to this afternoon and figure out which one that is. But so that's what will be coming up today. A preview and prediction video out of the Big 12. Big 12. Oh, I also have some breaking news as it relates to Oklahoma. Now, obviously their defense was a trash can last year, 100th against the pass, 60-something in total defense, 40-something in points allowed per game, just a complete and utter trash can against the gauntlet of a conference that is the Big 12. And, of course, now they're moving into the SEC. But, yeah, last year, 100th against the pass, 60-something total defense, 40-something points allowed per game, or 45th, I think, in points allowed per game, 40-something in points allowed per game. And so I know that's terrible, but don't worry. I made the Oklahoma prediction video the other day, and I've been informed in the comments section over there by an Oklahoma fan who knows what he's talking about, that Oklahoma is going to have a top 2 defense in the SEC this year. There's some pretty good defenses this season around the SEC. Obviously, Georgia. We'll see about Bama. I think Tennessee's front 7 will be pretty good. We'll see about the back end. Texas has to replace some stuff along the defensive line, but they'll have a pretty good defense. But most likely, none of those defenses will be as good as Oklahoma's, who is going to have a top 2 defense in all of the SEC. Their first year in the SEC this year. Of course, this comes courtesy of the Oklahoma man over in the comments section on my Oklahoma prediction video. What's up, Vic? You back yet? Oklahoma will have a bottom 100 defense again. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if their defense improves a little. I mean, year 3 under Brent Venables, they have recruited really well. But I don't know that a team that was in the Big 12 last year that was 100th against the pass, 60-something in total defense, and 40-something in points allowed, I don't know that a team like that in 1 year can then become a top 2 defense in the SEC. I question severely. That I question severely. You got back Sunday? Okay. Did y'all have a good time? Well, we'll talk about it you going to come on Thursday, Vic? We'll talk about your vacation on Thursday. I'm sure you had a good time. Glad you made it back safe and sound, buddy. Bama and UJ will have the best defenses in the SEC this season. I don't know about Bama either. Could be. Bama's defense looked forget about questionable. Bama's defense just straight up looked bad in the spring game. Now, that in and of itself doesn't mean the defense will be bad during the season. But, I'll say this about Alabama's defense. There was nothing in the spring game about Alabama's defense that made you go, whoa, they're going to be good. Could they? Yeah, there's a lot of talent over there, for sure. But, they got a whole new defensive coaching staff. Kalen DeBoer's an offensive guy. So we'll see. I've said this before, and this would help Bama's defense too. I think Alabama should ground and pound this year. That's what I think. I think they got one of the best offensive lines in the country. I think they got 3 running backs that would, if not start, get significant playing time on every team in the country. And Jalen Milroe can't hit the broadside of a barn, but the dude is deadly below the waist. And if I was Alabama and Kalen DeBoer, I would ground and pound and run. That chews up clock. That keeps the other team off the field, and it prevents Jalen Milroe from throwing the ball to the wrong team. That's what I would do. And I think Alabama can win a lot of games this year doing that. A lot of games. Now, that's not what he's done at other places, but, so we'll just have to wait and see. Is Kalen DeBoer a system guy? This is my system. We're going to run this no matter what. No matter what pieces we have, we're going to go shotgun Michael Penix, let's throw the ball type of deal. Is that his mindset, or is he willing to adapt to the pieces around him? Because to me, I think Alabama could have one of the best run games in the country. And that would help their defense, Running teams always have better defensive stats than throwing teams, almost, across the board. Look at Tennessee and how bad their defense has been, like, stat-wise over the first couple of years of Heupel. Now, some of that is because they've not been talented enough at certain positions on defense and things like that, but a lot of that is also due just to the style of offense they run. With the hurry up and the that and the this. And they run the ball a lot, but they're a quick-paced, fast, hurry-up type of offense. At least they have been a lot the first few years. Slowing that down, no matter what team you are, it's just less amount of time your defense ends up being on the field, right? But I see some people talking about Tennessee in the chat, but Tennessee could be good this year. Just warning everyone now. We've had a lot of fun with Tennessee for the last 15 years. Now, let me be clear. I don't think Tennessee is good enough to win the SEC, or if we still had a 4-team playoff, I don't think they would make a 4-team playoff. But I'm pretty close to being convinced that Tennessee's making the 12-team playoff this year. If they beat Oklahoma in week 4, and, I did the Oklahoma video the other day, I think they do beat Oklahoma. If they beat NC State and Oklahoma, if they're undefeated after the month of September, they got a really good chance of getting in, I think. Because they could lose to Bama and Georgia later in the year, and they'd be sitting there at the end of the year at 10-2 with a win at Oklahoma, win early in the year against NC State, who's probably going to be one of the better teams in the ACC. I think a 10-2 Tennessee team probably gets in, and unless Nico is just complete failure, which is possible. He's never, we haven't really seen him play. I don't think he's going to be a complete failure. I also don't think he's going to put up Hendon Hooker numbers from 2 years ago. I think he needs a year to play before he gets to that level probably, but I think he's going to be probably an improvement over what they had last year with Joe Milton. But if Tennessee is sitting there at 10-2 at the end of the year, they're getting into playoffs. And if they can beat NC State and Oklahoma, at that point, the most likely record for Tennessee becomes 10-2, and then they'll be in there. And they'll probably be hosting a playoff game. They'll probably be like a 7 or 8 seed, something like that, if they're 10-2, and would be hosting a playoff game against a 9 or a 10. How funny would it be if Tennessee snuck into playoffs and beat Ohio State? I think Ohio State's hosting a playoff game this year, too. That's the problem there. So Tennessee and Ohio State could play, but it wouldn't be in the first round, I don't think. I tell you what I want. I want Ohio State to host a playoff game against an SEC team. That's what I want. And whatever SEC, I don't care what SEC team it is, I want them to go up to Columbus and win. That just scratches off one more Ohio State man excuse that they've been using for eons. You know, oh, well, we only lost because the game was played below the Mason-Dixon line. Or, you know, we only lost because the game was played closer to an SEC campus than it was a Big Ten campus, or whatever all these excuses they use. They the weather, all that. They'll become, if an SEC team from down south goes up to Columbus, Ohio in the middle of December and wins, that's it. The Ohio State man entire book of excuses is gone in an instant. If I could handpick any playoff matchup between any two teams at any location in the playoffs, it would be any SEC team on the road at Columbus in the first round of the playoffs. So let's talk about what teams that could be. You're talking about probably the third or fourth best team in the SEC. The best team in the SEC, whoever wins the SEC, they're getting a bye. They're not hosting a game. I mean, they're not playing playing a first round game. The second best team in the SEC is most likely going to be ranked somewhere between 5 and 8, and so they'll be hosting their own game. So you need an SEC team that's likely to finish as a 9, 10, 11, or 12 seed, which is probably going to be the third, maybe fourth best SEC team. So the two favorites to win the SEC right now are Georgia and Texas. So let's just go with that. Let's say one of them wins the SEC. The other one is a 5 through 8 seed and hosts a playoff game. What are some of the other playoff contenders that could possibly find themselves in the 9 to 12 spot? Well, Tennessee, we just talked about. Ole Miss, Bama. What about Bama at Ohio State? Wouldn't that be? What if Bama goes 10-2, 9-3, and they're an 11 seed? And Ohio State is the second seed in the Big Ten, so they end up a 6 or a 7 or whatever. And Ohio State hosts Alabama in the first round of the playoffs. Holy shit. In Columbus, man, wouldn't that be something? That would be something to see. Hey, what's up, Mike? Good to see you, buddy. Pay Lou, have a great day. Yeah, I don't know if you were here in the beginning. Off to up over $200 yesterday. Mike, great start to the week. You know, I don't bet a lot of money on these games, but baseball in particular, because I don't know anything about it. So, you know, I'm betting between $25 and $50 a game typically. But I went 4-1 yesterday, and I'm up $205 after the first day of the week on the Pay Lou. I hit a 3-team parlay. The first 2 teams hit. The third team I had was the Mariners, and I had them -1.5, so they had to win by 2. Bottom of the ninth, it was tied at 4. And the Mariners hit a walk-off grand slam to win 8-4, cover the 1.5, and paid Lou on a 3-bet parlay. So that was a good one. That was a good one. So, yeah, up good to start the week. It's good to start the week up, even if it's $25, $50 or whatever, because then you go into today and the next day or whatever kind of betting with house money. When you lose the first day of the week, the way our gambling works with this bookie where we settle up every Monday, if you lose money the first day or 2 of the week and then like Wednesday rolls around and you're already $100 in the hole, at least for me, I start to get nervous then, because then I'm like, well, shit, do I really want to bet $100 today on 4 different games? If I lose them all, now I'm going to be down $200. Like it starts to mess with me mentally. So it's starting the week up, starting the week off ahead is a much better way to go. MLB is much easier to bet on than NCAA baseball. Betting on NCAA baseball is like flipping a coin. Yeah, I haven't bet or watched any NCAA baseball. I haven't watched much Major League Baseball either. I do bet on it every day. It was either Saturday or Sunday. I watched more of a baseball game than I've probably watched in 15 years. They had a game in London, England for no reason at all. It was the Phillies versus somebody. And I bet on the game, and it came on Fox or something at like 10 in the morning or noon, whatever. It was on really early because they were playing in London, England. And I actually turned the game on and watched a lot of it. I had the game on for the entire game. I didn't sit in a chair and stare at the TV the whole time. I was doing things, but I actually had the game on the whole time. That's the most I've paid attention to a baseball game in probably 15 years. Yeah, I appreciate it, Mike. Yeah, the bookie's down bad. I've beat him 3 weeks in a row. Now, he beat me 2 weeks in a row before that. So over the last 5 weeks, I'm 3-2, like weeks against the bookie. You know, I've beat him 3 weeks. He's beat me 2 weeks over the last 5 weeks. I've been streaky with the bookie lately. Like I lose a couple of weeks in a row, win a couple of weeks in a row, lose a couple of weeks in a row. And so the streaks right now, I lost 2 weeks in a row to the bookie. I've since won 3 weeks in a row. Trying to make it 4 this week. All right. Let's see. There you go. See you later. Lose goal, bankrupt the gypsy. I don't really want to bankrupt him because I don't want him to go out of business, but like it wouldn't hurt my feelings if a lot of the other people he's doing business with were losing, you know, so that he can make money off of them. Now, not Pete. I want Pete, Colby, and Sir UJ. We all have the same bookie. I want all 4 of us to win. But I want maybe the rest of some of the other people that he's doing business with, whoever that is, maybe some of them or enough of them at least can lose. I want the bookie to make money overall, I guess, so that he does stay in business and continues to pay me. But obviously I don't want him to beat me. So, we'll see. Booked my room at the Flamingo yesterday for my next Vegas trip. I have a real sickness and disease now. I'm hooked out there. I'm hooked. How old am I? 46? Am I 46? Yeah, I think I'm 46. So I went 45 years of my life never going to Vegas. And now I have gone 3 times in 7 months. January, May, and now July. Yeah, well, you know, people would ask me, they're like, you've never been to Vegas? And I'm like, no, you know, and I would tell them, I was like, you know why I've never been? I'm afraid if I went, I'd never come back. Like, I'm afraid I would like it so much I'd never come back. So I'd rather just not go. Now, it's turned out that's not completely true. I have managed to come back every time that I've went. But now, I'll tell you this, though, about Vegas. By the last day that I'm there, I am ready to come home. Like, it you know, 4 or 5 days, I've had enough. But then I come back home, and like within a week, I'm like, okay, when can I go back? When can I go back? So we're gonna go. We're gonna go for a few days towards the end of July. Staying at the Flamingo this time. The Flamingo is where we all stayed in January when we did the guys trip. By the way, we're doing it again in January. The big guys trip to Vegas. Last year it was me, Pete, Hufferbilly Paw, Sir UGA, and Colby. I don't think Colby is going this year because he gets married in December, and I think honeymoon and all that kind of thing. So I think he's skipping the guys' Vegas trip this year, Colby. I think. I'm not 100%. Maybe he's going. I think he's skipping it, though. But the other 4 of us are going again. Me, Pete, Hufferbilly Paw, and Sir UGA. I think Let the Big Dog Eat from the comment section. Y'all know him. Dula. He's been to Slob Olympics. I think he's going. I think my brother is coming, actually, this time. So we had, 5 last time. We're losing Colby, which would make it 4, but I think we're going to gain several more. But everyone's invited. I don't think that, well, I know for a fact, like, we haven't booked any rooms or anything like that yet. But as far as the dates go, the national championship game is on Monday, January 20th. So the week, it's looking like it will be the week of January 27th that we go. So the national title game is Monday, January 20th. A week after that, Monday, January 27th, is probably the week we will do Vegas. But like I said, we haven't booked rooms or flights or anything like that yet. But if you're thinking about going and you need to maybe look at your schedule, or whether it be your work schedule or whatever else, and you're considering going, it looks like it's going to be the week of January 27th, which is a Monday. Some of us went for 3 or 4 days last year. Some went for 4 or 5. If you want to go, it's obviously up to you how long you stay. But it's looking like a Monday through Friday thing, January 27th through January 31st. That's what we did last year, like a Monday through Friday. I ended up going a day early and staying a day late. So I did like Sunday to Saturday. I think most people did Monday through Friday. One person left Thursday. So, but you get the idea. It's that week. It's the week of January 27th. And whether you want to go for a day or two, or whether you want to go for the 7 days or whatever, that's when we'll be there. It's looking like is that week of January 27th. Your birthday is January 23rd. Well, come for your birthday. You should come down. Come for your birthday. BattleBots was actually pretty fun. Don't need to see it again, but it was fun. My wife even liked it. I don't even know what that is. Is that something in Vegas or something? BattleBots? Is that like the show that used to come on TV with the fighting robots or whatever? Remote controlled, whatever that is? Last year when we went on the guys trip, we didn't see any type of shows of any kind. No concerts, no Cirque du Soleil, no comedians, no burlesque show, nothing. We saw nothing. I wouldn't mind seeing a comedian. Something like that would be fun. I don't know about the BattleBots thing, but a comedian, we could do something like that one night, the guys deal. I'm sure we're going to go to Fremont Street one night. But anyway, the more the merrier. It is a guy's trip. Now, we can't prevent you from bringing your wife or your girlfriend, obviously. But, I won't be, nor will Pete or Sir UJ or Hufferbilly Paul or my brother. But, but we call it a guy's trip, but obviously, what about my freedom? What about my freedom? Yeah, you got the freedom to bring your wife if you want to. Yeah. Yeah. But great. We had a great time last year. Great time. Unbelievable time. So looking forward to that again. And then, of course, you got the Slob Olympics cruise in March, which, by the way, and by the by, you've got a week to reserve your room on the Slob cruise and get the discounts and all that go along with it. Again, you don't have to pay for the entire cruise when you book it. You only have to pay about $100 when you book the cruise. But all the information is right there on the screen. When you call that 1-800 number, You tell them you're part of a group rate. They're going to ask you for the name of the group. It's Slobs. And again, all this is on the screen. You can screenshot it. And then there's the booking number. They'll go over all the details with you on the phone. But basically the way it's going to work is you're going to pay about $100 to reserve your spot on the cruise. And you will then have between that day that you call in and December 15th, so 6 months basically, to pay off the balance of the cruise, which is about $500 per person. So if there's two of you in a room, it's going to be about $500 per person. The pricing varies a little bit based on the room type that you get and things like that. But again, they will go over all of that in detail with you when you call. But it's about $500 a person. For two people, it might come out to $800, $850, $925, $1,050, whatever, depending on the room type. But it's about $500 a person. Might be a little less, might be a little more. But again, you only have to pay about $100 when you call and book your room. That's it. And you have till December 15th to pay off the remaining balance. You can call in once a month and pay $100. You can call in once a week and pay $25, or you can not call in at all until it's due and just pay it all off. Whatever you want to do. If for some reason you book your room and then change your mind, whether it's because you decide you can't afford it, something comes up with work, whatever, it's fully refundable up until December 15th. So if you call and book your cruise for you and your wife or whatever the case, and you've paid $400 or $500 towards the cruise, and November rolls around and you realize you're not going to be able to go, you just call the number back, tell them you want to cancel. They fully refund every dime you've paid. So it's fully refundable through December 15th, and it has to be paid off by December 15th. But we're going to have a lot of fun. How many people is Traveling Fools in here? How many rooms have been booked, or how many people have booked? Do you know? We were talking about this the other day. My guess is that there's going to be somewhere between 20 and 30 people that end up doing it. That's my guess. I obviously hope it's 120, but my guess is that we're going to end up with somewhere between 20 and 30 people. Does that sound about right? Kirby's Belt says, I'm looking forward to it. It's supposed to be around 73 degrees on most days. Where are you headed? Jay has not booked as of yesterday. Dang. Well, haven't you booked? And isn't Jay staying with you? 13 or 14 rooms booked so far. Okay, so an average of 2 people per room. Some rooms will have more because people have kids. So we're probably over 30 people by now, actually, when you consider some of the people that have booked probably have 3 or 4 in the room. Probably up around 30 people by now. Has Saloon Droover booked yet? Does anyone know? If not, we need to get on him about that on this Wednesday's show. His Wednesday show that he does in the afternoons. Saloon Dribble. Saloon Dribble does his show every Wednesday at 3. We need to get on him about that if he hasn't booked yet. Yeah. Also, if there's anyone out there that wants to gamble but doesn't want to make the trip to Vegas, Colby is having a bachelor party, which he may or may not be in attendance for. Not sure. But Colby is having a bachelor party at the Harrah's in Cherokee, North Carolina. August 5th through 7th. August 5th through 7th. So if you want to come gambling with us, but you don't want to go to Vegas, Harrah's Cherokee, August 5th through 7th for Colby's bachelor party, which, again, he may or may not be in attendance for. He picked these dates. He's the one that said he wanted to go to Harrah's Cherokee for his bachelor party. He picked the dates. We all went out. We all booked the rooms. but I've been engaged before. So we'll see. We'll see if he decides to attend. I'm hoping that he obviously hoping that he does. I'm obviously hoping that he does. Spend a day or two out by the pool up there in Cherokee. Eat some good food, and of course, a little bit of gambling. But that'll be a good time. August 5th through 7th. That's Colby's. There's a lot going on. Hog Fest is in July. There's too much going on is really what it is. Saloon Dribble said he did not have enough shrekels for the cruise. No way you can go to Vegas without your wife. Dang. Dang. You want me to talk to her for you? Dang. Down bad. You going to any trip during the season? No, no. That's why I'm able to go on the. You know why I'm able to go on all these trips from January to July every year? You know why that is? It's because I don't leave this room from the middle of August to the middle of January. That's why. So, no, I'm not going on any trips during the season. No. Well, I take that back. I went to New Orleans last December after the season ended and before the bowl game started, and I actually might do that again. A New Orleans trip in December. But it won't be while any games are being played. It would be after the conference championship games, but for the first round of the playoffs. But generally speaking, no, I don't leave this room from the middle of August to the middle of January. Is the guys' trip to Vegas going to be mostly gambling? That's not up to me completely, but I'm going to be honest. When we went this last January, that's all we did. And I would prefer not to do that again. There's going to be, now I want to gamble every day, and it's particularly every night, but it wouldn't hurt my feelings if we did a little bit of something else. Even if it's like going down to the, and I tried to talk them into this last time, and for whatever reason, none of them ever seemed like they wanted to do it. But so we stayed at the Flamingo. Right next door to the Flamingo is the Link. Right next door to the Link is Harrah's, so it's real close. And inside of that Harrah's, they have the Dueling Pianos bar where they have the Fat Elvis. They do karaoke there. They have Dueling Pianos there, and it's a really big casino. I would like to do things like that. Go down there, hang out at the Dueling Pianos for a couple hours in the afternoon or in the evening. A couple of the bars that are outside of the casinos, like the Fuel Bar where they do all the bottle flipping and twisting and throwing it behind their back. I would like to do more stuff like that. Last time we pretty much woke up, met in the casino, gambled all day, went to sleep, woke up the next day, did it again. And we all love gambling. I had a great time, but I'm kind of hoping we switch it up a little this time, but I really don't know. Like, we're not going to a bunch of Cirque du Soleil shows and shit like that. That I can tell you. We'll go to Fremont Street one night for sure. Did you see where the Army-Navy game isn't going to have its own day anymore? Yeah, it doesn't bother me at all. I mean, I like the Army-Navy game, but it's not the Super Bowl. It's not the national title game. I don't, it doesn't need its own day. So, that doesn't bother me. How many games do they have for week 0? 7, I think. But there's only one, I believe, involving Power 5 versus Power 5, and that's Florida State and Georgia Tech. Let me double check that. I'll put it up on the screen for you. Four games. Florida State at Georgia Tech, noon, ESPN. That game, of course, is in Ireland. The only other Power 5 team that's playing is SMU. They're, of course, in the ACC now. SMU at Nevada at 8 o'clock, but only one Power 5 versus Power 5 matchup, Florida State at Georgia Tech, which I do think could be a good game. I don't know. I'm not going to start on the Florida State thing, but I think this could be a good game. Florida State at Georgia Tech. I do. I think it could be a good game and one that Georgia Tech might sneak out a win. To hell with tradition. What tradition? Yeah. Also in 2. Edition of that as well. What else is going on? My daughter's birthday's coming up in a couple of weeks. College football. To hell with tradition in college football. What traditions? Are you talking about anything particular, or are you just complaining in general? Daughter's birthday coming up in a couple of weeks. She's going to be out of town. She's going to the beach on her birthday, but so I'm actually, and then like for like 5 days in a row leading up to her birthday, she has to work, and I don't know, it's just a lot going on. So I'm actually taking her out to eat tomorrow. She wants to go to the Japanese place, the hibachi, where they cook. She calls it the cook in front of you place. She wants to go to the cook in front of you place. So Japanese tomorrow. My dad's going to come too. So me and my dad taking my little Rue. She'll be 17. Jesus, 17. Taking my Rue out to eat to cook in front of your place tomorrow. So that'll be fun. I like that place too. It's good. I like Japanese food. The Florida State man is convinced they are easily covering the spread. Yeah. In general. Okay. Yeah. Traditions. What's up, Texas man? FSU thinks they're going to be good with DJ Oogie Badoogie. Yeah, I'm worried about Florida State this year. Not worried about them in that. I think they're going to be really good. I think they could. I just the way they have handled everything that has gone on since December 3rd of last year, I think spells disaster for them this year. From the constant crying about the getting left out of the playoffs, and then the constant crying about getting beat by 60 in the Orange Bowl, and constant crying about TV money, and then they're busy suing their own conference, and they're trying to sell their own athletic department to Wall Street, and they want out of the ACC, but they don't want to go to the SEC because SEC bad. We only want to go to the Big Ten. We don't want to go to the SEC, but we really just want out of the ACC. And it's just, and then you just look at the players they lost. They don't have the people to replace them, I don't think. Now the SEC, the ACC isn't great. They're not going to go 5-7 or 6-6 or 7-5. I mean, they're going to win 8 or 9 games or more. But they're not going to be nearly as good of a team as they were last year. They're just not. They don't have anybody that can replace Jared Verse. They don't have anybody that can replace Trey Benson. They don't have anybody that can replace Jordan Travis. They don't have anybody that can replace that wide receiver, either of them. 2 of them they lost. They don't have any. It doesn't look good to me for Florida State for this year. Yeah, the crying about Kirk Herbstreit, and this analyst said this, and ESPN did that, and the SEC this, and we're suing the ACC, and we got to get grant of rights, and the Orange Bowl didn't count, the playoff committee is rigged, and everybody just sits around trying to come up with ways to screw Florida State. Yeah, okay, whatever, buddy. So, I don't know. Again, I'm not even talking about their record necessarily. I'm just saying as a team, I was trying to explain this to somebody the other day. I don't know. This is why I would make a terrible teacher. And I've always been this way. And, like I think I'm a good dad. I obviously, there are things I could be way better at, but like this was even like with my kids, like I am not good at explaining things. Like it's hard I don't know why this is, but it is hard for me to understand why somebody else can't understand something that I understand. And I know that's ridiculous. Like I may have a different viewpoint on things. I may look at something from a different perspective. I come from a different background, or I approach something differently. So for whatever reason, something makes sense to me in this particular way. And I can't understand when other people can't understand that. But so I was having, I think it was on Twitter or somewhere. You can have the same record you had last year. You could even have a better record than you had last year and be a worse team. And like, to me, that's just an obvious point to me. Schedules change. The teams that you're playing, their players change. So, maybe you lost to a team last year, or maybe you beat a team last year by 5 and this year you beat them by 20. Well, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're a better team than last year. Maybe that team is way worse. Anyway, but you look at Florida State's schedule, and so when I say going to be worse than last year, I'm not even necessarily talking about the record, although I do think the record will be worse. I don't think they're going 12-0, but Georgia Tech. I'm not going to be surprised if Georgia Tech wins that game. I'm not. I don't know if I'll actually pick them to win, but like that, I wouldn't be shocked. I think they'll probably beat Boston College. Now, everybody's going to talk about last year's Boston College game on the road up there. This is in Tallahassee. 2 weeks to prepare because this is a week 0 game here. No, it's not 2 weeks to prepare. I'm sorry, 1 week. But anyway, I can't see them losing this one. I just don't. It's a Monday night game. Anyway, Memphis, some people are high on Memphis this year. I think Florida State still beats them. I think Florida State beats Cal. They could lose this one. I'm not predicting them. I'm talking about just games that have a possibility of losing. They could lose to Georgia Tech, in my opinion. They could lose to SMU. They could lose to Clemson. They could lose to Miami. They could lose to Notre Dame. They could lose to Florida. That's a lot of could lose for them to go 12-0. I don't see it. I don't see a 12-0 record there. I just don't see it. Always liked FSU, was pissed for them getting left out, but it's amazing how a year of crying could turn you against them. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. And then you go on Twitter now, and they're blaming the SEC for, who was it that Florida beat? Clemson. So they're on there now. Florida State fans are on Twitter blaming ESPN and the SEC for Clemson losing a baseball game to Florida. I'm just like, you got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. You know, it's mind-numbing. Mind-numbing. No, I don't know. You know, I don't know, you know. Yeah, jackpot. It's a me problem. Like, I get it. And that's why, here's the thing about teachers. To teach a subject, it's not enough just to know the subject. Lots of people probably know whatever subject. Being able to teach that subject, that's an entirely different skill. Not only do you have to know the subject, but then having the ability to teach that subject, that's a separate and additional skill that you have to acquire. It's not enough just to know something. And that's why I could never be a teacher. I have the ability to gain knowledge about something. I don't have the ability to then explain that to someone else. I don't have the patience. I don't ever understand why somebody else doesn't understand what I understand. Do you understand? That's all right, lawn care, man. You don't have to send in another video. It's optional. Most people do, but you don't have to. Florida is not a could-lose game for yes, it is. Yes, it is. Of course it is. Look at last year's game. Of course it's a could-lose. A rivalry game. Could lose doesn't mean will lose. But of course they could lose the Florida game. All right, Mike, you too. Yeah, I'm going to get out of here too. It's just after 9 o'clock. Appreciate y'all tuning in this morning. Call-in show tonight at 9. So make sure you tune in for that. We had a great call-in show last Tuesday. That was one of the best call-in shows we've had in a while. Was that call-in show last Tuesday? I felt like there was a lot of good callers. Good conversations in the comments section. I don't know. It felt like that was a really good call-in show. Hope to have another good one tonight at 9 o'clock. So tune back in over on the main channel tonight at 9 o'clock. We'll talk a lot of college football. Maybe we'll talk more Florida State. We'll see. But whatever the callers want to talk about. But that'll be tonight at 9. And then I do have another preview and prediction video coming out today. It will be a Big 12 team. So that'll probably be out mid to late afternoon. It takes me 3 or 4 hours to make those. So that'll be out mid to late afternoon. So make sure you check those out. Really appreciate y'all hanging out today. Again, a reminder, the talent show will be back on Monday with another round. And a lot of people have already sent in additional videos for the next round of that talent show, which again will be Monday. So make sure you tune back in for that. We'll play a whole nother round of videos and try to get it narrowed down towards a winner there for the LouTube's Got Talent. So that'll be back on Monday. Jesse, you said it's your daughter's birthday? Then he deleted it. I can't read it now. Daughter's birthday today. She's 11. Oh, happy birthday! Tell her happy birthday for us. Everybody from LouTube wishes your daughter Jessie a very happy 11th birthday. I hope her 11th year is her best year. So tell her everybody over here on the shoe wished her an amazing and happy birthday. All right, I'm going to get out of here. Again, appreciate everybody for tuning in. No morning shoe tomorrow, so this pointless show won't be back until Thursday morning when we'll have VicTube on to discuss his vacation. But I will see y'all tonight at 9 o'clock for the call-in show. Enjoy your Tuesday and have a good morning.